Good morning, namaste, good evening on the other side in our second home. Hope you can hear me okay. We're gonna do an hour of stretch. We're live, we're on a few different technical systems here. There was a time change. Of course, you know, Tania, of course I didn't remember that. So it is 11 a.m. In my mind, it's still, I think 10 a.m. I can't even remember if we lost or gained an hour. Okay, so we're gonna do a deep stretch or a stretch today. If you have a belt, that'll be handy. And if you don't have a belt, you can use a tea towel, you can use anything that can just give you a little extra length in your limbs. We'll start in seated. So if you'd like to join me, we're gonna get a straight back, sit up straight, and come into whatever comfortable seated position works for you. I've picked up some debris on the way here. Always want to come onto your mat with clean feet. So sit up straight, relax your shoulders, lift your heart, and we'll start focusing on our breathing. So bring your attention to your breath. Inhale and exhale through your nose. You want to feel both nostrils active. So when you're inhaling, feel both the left and the right. Take the breath in. And exhale, really release the breath completely. You need to sit on a blanket or a block and prop yourself up. First do that. And remember throughout our practice today, our sadhana, to listen to your body. So if anything doesn't feel right or causes what we would call pain, please stop immediately. You want to challenge yourself and stretch and feel good, but again, not forcing anything. So relax your shoulders, lift your heart. Let's begin the breath through the nose, inhaling very deeply. And as you're inhaling, feel your chest and your tummy and your diaphragm expand like a balloon. And as you exhale, feel everything soften, let the balloon collapse. And deflate, if you will. Release anything that's not serving you, any feelings, thoughts, stuffology. Breathe it out. Breathe in light, breathe in positive energy, breathe in new life force. Fill up your balloon, then exhale completely, very, very deeply. And again, for the next while, just focus on your breathing and start to train yourself to focus on your breathing whenever you can. Sometimes when we're driving, we're focused on driving, but bring your attention to the present. And sometimes we can lose the present with our thoughts, and our breath can unite our mind and our body just by focusing on it. The inhalations, slowing them down, and the exhalations, deeply slowing them down through the nose. So let's start to stretch a little bit. We'll begin with our head. Drop your chin to the center of your clavicles and do a couple of circles to your right. Let your head fall back if you're comfortable with that. If you don't like that feeling, then of course, just go from side to side, maybe swoosh the collarbones gently with your chin. Only go back again if you feel comfortable. Do 3 to 5 circles, depending on how slowly or quickly you feel comfortable going. Eyes opened or closed, whatever, again, feels good for you. It's taking an hour to connect and to breathe and to stretch. And to keep ourselves healthy, grateful, and present. So another circle to the other side. When you've completed this circle, gently bring your chin back down for a moment. Reconnect with your sit bones, reconnect with your breath, and bring your head back up to center. Breathe. Take your right ear, let it drop down to your right shoulder. Feel the stretch on the opposite side. Place your right hand on the left temple and stretch. Stretch down the side of your neck. Place your left fingertips on the floor as well. You can spread those too and spread out your testy hands. Breathe. So again, about 3 to 5 breaths on each side. We're practicing a stretch, basic classic Hatha asana. I'd probably say from Shivananda mainly. Stretch over, left ear to the left shoulder, fingertips down on the floor, and feel a stretch. You want to move some of the tension out of your neck. Breathe. Perfect. Inhale. Let's take both hands back and bring them onto the floor for a moment. Take a breath in. Inhale. Here comes the sun. And let's go to one side. I'm going over with my right arm over my right ear. I don't want to drop forward. This is paint from when Brent used my mat after work. With Karen, stretch, stretch, reach and lengthen sideways. So you want to get all these muscles down your side, your breathing muscles. Breathe through your nose. And if you want to, those that like to set an intention, you can start focusing on what your intention might be during this class. Your samkalpa. Inhale, come up, and gently drop to your other side. So I'm going right, left ear, the left side. And again, the shoulder rotation is external. So internal means coming forward and external means pulling back. Deep stretch, lateral stretch. Breathe. Hi, everybody. See lots of love on Facebook. Hi. Can't read your comments, sending in lots of love. Breathe. Thank you. Come up and do some circles above your head. So move the clouds around. And maybe there are clouds. Maybe it's a lot of sunshine. Swirl it around. Move your wrists. So again, in yoga, we're physically moving our body, our connective tissue, our muscles. We're strengthening, we're stretching, and we're relaxing. Sort of a trifecta effect. Breathe. But we're also deepening our subtle energy body and our spiritual connection with divine energy with the practice of yoga. That's why I think so many of us like it, especially right now. Bring your hands open as we're uniting physical science with spiritual science, if you will. Up and down, lifting, moving your shoulders. And you want to be twisting all your joints. So you want to feel your shoulders, your elbows, everything moving. Good, breathe. Then take your hands, interlace them behind your head, puff your chest up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale. And as you exhale, pull your elbows in toward your nose and roll down. Bring your elbows toward the ground. Your buttocks is going to want to come up. Push it the other way. So there's an extension in the spine. Breathe. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's almost Monday on the other side of the room. Breathe. Still got a nice Sunday here. Oh, it's Michael's birthday. All the 14s. Only 14 loves. Stretch your fingers out. 14th tomorrow of March. How'd that happen? Breathe, fingers, stretch, palms open. Inhale, raise your arms up. Good. Interlace your fingers behind you and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull your heart open. And let's come down again, this time with the hands together. So if you can fold, don't let the hands come apart. Try to squeeze your palms together, chest down, pull from your hips. Breathe through your nose. Enjoy. Good. Take it back up. It's very bright here. It's nice to have a little sunshine. Release your legs. We're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring the left leg over the right or right over left, depending on how you were sitting on the other side. Let's do a little mobility and movement. So we're going to place your hands anywhere you can comfortably on your legs. We're stretching. So we're going to move our shoulders, our elbows. I probably red teeth for putting on red lipstick on Sunday. Naughty, naughty. Good. Breathe. Some circles to the right. I'm going to do about 10 to the right. I want to feel this move down my back. I want to move my shoulders, drop my head, inhaling up, exhaling on the way down. So as in most of our postures and movements, we inhale when we open and we exhale when we close. Breathe. Good. So that's about 10 to the right. And then you can pause. You can do this with your eyes open or closed. And then do some of those circles again. Move your shoulders up and down and around. Move your organs, give them a massage. I'm seeing messages and getting some messages, sorry. Breathe, 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 breathe. You can come on Zoom if you like. It's the regular Zoom number, the 772. Breathe. Good. Let's do about 10 circles to the left and then back up to center. Perfect. Take a couple of breaths. So we talked about having a belt today. And if you don't have a belt, I just took off my sweater. This is a belt right here. This sleeve can be a belt. So you don't need any fancy yoga props. These are actually almost 25 years old. They're karate belts. I'm only at a yellow. I'm actually at a white. It's in the watch. So when you're not even at a white, what's before white? Anyway, take your hands and reach for your belt. I love this. Bashakti and Karen do this in their classes when we do muscle isolation. So you can see my fingers, I'm holding onto my belt, and I already feel there's a tautness between my shoulders. I'm gonna try and slide my hands, pull it more open down the belt or sweater, depending on what you're holding, and draw my shoulder blades toward one another and pull the arms away from me. So you're gonna feel one arm is gonna be a little different, perhaps more muscular, depending on what hand you use. And then you can try a stretch sideways. So we did this with our hands laterally. Now try it a little bit with a belt. So the belts, the Iyengar technique, God bless, yes, Iyengar, one of the great masters of modern yoga, brought props like chairs and belts and used the wall and said, if we can't get to the posture, we'll bring the posture to us. So a couple of breaths to one side with this belt and then over to the other side. So deep stretch today. Stretch out our flow that we did yesterday. Okay, and then back behind you and release. So pull them just in front for a moment. Exhale, inhale up, back, and then exhale. Isolate again, forward stretch, shoulders down. We'll do it twice more. Inhale up, back, and exhale down. Once more, inhale up. Lots of love. I'm sending you love back. Love, love, love. And exhale back. Well done. So release your belt, shake your shoulders, do whatever feels good, and let's give the legs a little bit of activity. So what we're going to do is come down on our back now. So if you can, find a position where you can lay down. And when you're coming down, we're not doing jumping around and chaturangas today. So take your time in the deep stretch, come onto the floor and give your knees a little squeeze. Now do some circles with your knees. Pretend you're stirring soup, if you will. So stir them to the right and left, come back to your breath. Perhaps you have a sankalpa and attention. So maybe you want to focus on that. Maybe it's to feel more clear about a decision. Maybe it's to release. Maybe it's to be more present, more peace, of course, for our world. Legs and arms can come straight up. So right away, that's really doing greatness for your circulatory system, getting the blood down. I should learn how to dress myself. I'm all twisted. Here we go. Now fling your wrists and your ankles back and forth like you're waving. So if I was turned, I'd wave at you. So say hello to the sky. And then circle your wrists and your ankles. And try to do this with the blood flowing down to your heart and your main organs for change, instead of flowing into your hands. Very good. Great. Then raise your arms up and see if you can interlace them around the back of your head. We're going to stretch our neck a wee bit deeper. Pull the elbows in like we did when we were in seated. Pull your chin into the center of your collarbones and come up. And don't let the shoulders all scrunch up. Keep them down. And if it's a bit too much on your legs, you bring them down anytime. Rest your feet and just stretch into your neck. Not too far. Breathe through your nose. Perfect. And then release. Bring your knees down, your feet down, and you can keep one foot bent. That'll really help your lumbar spine. We're going to use the belt or sweater again, and we're going to raise one leg. I'm raising the right leg just out of habit. Right represents the male side, the sun, and the left side is the female moon side. So I usually start on the sun rising, and then the moon rises. When we use the Iyengar technique, if you don't have a belt, just reach for your leg. But when we use it, it gives us length for the limb. So you can pull the leg in a little deeper on your exhalations with the belt. Don't come out of alignment. Don't let the shoulders come up. Pull the elbows into the midline like we always do. And those that are advanced, you can let the leg on the ground extend. Take a few deep breaths, drawing in on your exhalation. So you kind of go. Shoulders in, elbows in, all to the midline. Deep posterior stretch if we can, down the back of your right leg. Go for, again, about 5, 6, 7 breaths. We'll stay on this side. Push into your lumbar. Don't let your shoulders come up. They should be open, chest open. Listen to your body. Breathe. Good. Then pull your head into the stretch for the last couple of breaths. Use your arms if you like. Remember to ground the left foot if you feel any discomfort at all in your lower back. Breathe, exhaling, take in a little further. Excellent. And then release. So hug your right knee into your chest, circle your ankle again, massage that joint, and then come into open palms, open feet in Shavasana. Feel the cold floor here. Take a few deep breaths with the belly rising as you inhale. Let it soften as you exhale. Breathe through your nose. Come to the present. Fold your feet. Listen to your body. Remember, again, it's live. So if you have any medical, anything that low blood pressure, things like that, please get advice before just jumping into a yoga class. There's advantages to our online and some things we want to be really careful. So be careful here. Place your belt around your left foot and around the arch if it's possible. The right leg can stay on grounded. If you want to extend it and go a little further in your position. Use your breath. Keep your elbows tight. Keep your shoulders down. Pull into your midline. Inhale and exhale. You can deepen by pulling up this 12-pound noodle into the stretch. Great. So you're making your yoga yours, so it feels right, and you're trying to keep as much of your back very even on the floor. We call them the 4 quadrants of the back. So when we're twisting, when we're moving, they should be pressed deeply into the earth. Sometimes you have to bend the other leg to do that. Again, about 7 breaths, finishing with maybe a little deeper stretch. Shoulders away from your ears, because we're always scrunched up like this. We're trying to do the opposite, especially in our practice. There we go. So it's like Sultan's tent here. Cool, eh? That's Lorena Mechanic. She is a Canadian artist from Aurelia. That is her CD. Breathe. Release. Body opens. Take a few deep breaths in Shavasana. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch. Good. This time, pull both knees into your chest. Hug your knees back and forth. And take your belt this time and loop it around the arches of your feet. Take your legs up, if that's available, both of them at the same time. Draw them into your chest, but keep your, if you can, your lower back pressed into the ground. So a lot of people swing up, don't do that. A lot of people keep their shoulders up, that either. Down go the shoulders, in come the legs. Inhale, and exhale. Do this again about 5 times. Good. Even if you're just watching and breathing, good. Moving a little bit, stretching a bit, becoming more present a bit. So I'm going to change positions. You stay where you are, especially you guys on Zoom there. I'm just going to move this way. Good. And we'll bring the legs now. So your belt is going to be spread a little bit wider. If you can, open your legs and have a stretch with the legs wide open. Breathe. Now, if you're an advanced student and you want to reach for your toes and go into the stretch a little further without the belt, go ahead. Now, if you've got a sweater, that might not work out too well here. It's not going to be long enough, probably. You're going to need a robe. Keep breathing. Press your shoulders down. See how my back is completely down? My lower back, upper back. Nice work. Breathe. Good. Close. Hug your knees into your chest. Stay on your back. And keep your belt handy as well. Place the soles of your feet on the floor. This is the pigeon, and it's for the sciatic nerve especially. cross your right foot over the top of your left thigh and lift your left thigh in toward you. You can use your belt here to loop around the shin and have a really nice alignment stretch as you pull the shin in toward you. Now shoulders up, push them down. No elbows out, draw them in. Breathe. 5 breaths or so on this side, stretching out the right outer hip, the sciatic thighs, getting a stretch, the buttocks, glute. Breathe. So a deep stretch, about 60 minutes. 45 of those will move, and 15 will relax. Now, if you're familiar with Mahabandha, you can engage all blocks. It's something that takes a little while to teach, but you're pulling up your pelvic floor, pulling the stomach, and closing the throat. So you're basically squeezing all the water into the hose, like we do, up the main channel of energy. And then when you release it, you let everything kind of push through. So it's like the water bursts through the hose, but it bursts through 72,000 little hoses. More prana through right to your fingers and toes. Feel that. Fold your knees, bring the soles of your feet down again. Cross the left heel over the right knee. Breathe. It's really cold here. Pull the knee into your chest. You can use your hands or use your belt. Thread the belt around the shin of your bent knee. Be careful here. So if it's too much, you can bring it around even just the hamstring. There we go. And tug in, elbows tight. On the exhalation, go a little further. Again, keep that 4-quadrant square of the back down on the floor. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose, shoulders down. For 5 breaths. And then if you would like to do the log, you can come up, squeeze up through the pelvic floor, stomach on the exhalation, throat closed. Jal Handara, Priya Bandha, Jal Handara Bandha, all locked, sorry, with Mula Bandha, Mahabandha. Breathe, exhale. Let everything fall up in. Take a few deep breaths. Come back to your breath. Let your belly rise as you inhale. And fall as you exhale. So we're stretching, inhaling, and exhaling. Fold your knees again, if you will. And this time, we're going to do the bridge pose. So we're going to bring the heels in line with the buttocks, as close to the bottom as you can. Those that are advanced can bring their feet together, like most poses. The closer the feet, the little more challenging it is. Otherwise, draw straight lines from heel, knee, hips, and shoulders. If you want to use your belt on this, you can. You could loop it around the front part of your ankle and use the belt to guide you to come up into a very nice aligned bridge pose. Because what we're going to do is lift the torso and create the shape of a bridge. I love this because it keeps the accuracy, if you will, the alignment, really, really powerfully aligned. So you can use your belt or interlace those fingers, squeeze your shoulders together, and play in your bridge. Satyabandhasana, breathe. If you want to use your hands in advance by bringing yourself up a bit, you can do that. And if you really want to advance, you could straighten your legs in the pose. Just watch your head, because your head takes some weight. You want to really keep, I like to keep my shoulders down in this pose. I enjoy it more like this with my legs engaged, quadriceps, figures. Inhale, and then exhale, hug your knees back into your chest. So you've already done half an hour of movement, stretching, and breathing. It goes quickly, and it does wonders by getting your mind here, present to where your body is, your soul. Inhale, reach everything away from center. So stretch fingers away from toes, lengthen your spine. And we're going to lift ourselves up. Now, how you come up, you can turn onto your right side if you like, or you can use your core and bring yourself back up into a seated posture. Once you're up and seated again, we're going to do some inner thigh work. So we've done the back, posterior, lots of stretching there. And we've done a little bit of the outside. Now we're going to do the inside. So pull your heels toward your cranium and shift your weight so that it's evenly on both of the ischial bones, the sit bones. Push forward into the pubis a bit. And sit up straight. So what happens in this pose is a lot of people turn into clams and they round and it's just like being on the phone. So sit up really tall. And to exhale, fold from your hips. Where does your belt come in handy here? You may want to use it to wrap it around your feet and hold your position up without rounding your back. See how nice and flat my back can be like this? This is what Iyengar's technology was as far as using props in the yoga practice. Breathe in and out through your nose. And hold bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana, with the belt, with your hands, maybe your elbows, your bones in the humerus are long enough. Just open through the inner thigh, inhale and exhale. So we inhale to take more breath in, everything opens up, it makes scientific sense. We exhale, squish, deepen, close. Close your eyes, use your nose, breathe. Take about another 3 breaths in bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Perfect. And then gently roll up. Pull your knees in. You can shake your feet out, wiggle, jiggle. We're going to do Gomukhasana now, which is the cow face pose. Excuse me. Coffee's too far away. And it's snowing again. Oh boy. We're going to take the right leg, bring it over the left one. That means tuck your left leg underneath. So you just bring the foot underneath. Do not sit on this foot. Cross the right leg over the top of the left. And again, for gentlemen, it's different with the hip rotation. So be careful. You may only get your leg to here, and that's perfect. Try to root into your sit bones. If you can get the knees over one another, we're trying to bring them together into the shape of, you know, like a nose of a cow. We're moving our flesh around here and trying to get the buttocks on the ground. So a lot of people sit on this kind of and pull. You can feel it all in the medial collaterate. You don't want to do that. It's better to move around, get blocks underneath your feet. Again, we have an hour. This posture does take a bit of time to really deepen. So take your time to start crossing the legs, separating the feet. See how I'm not sitting on mine? Breathe. Good. Now, if you want to, you can reach for your belt, take that position that we did, and then try to bring your chest down. And you'll feel a nice roofing in your buttocks on both sides. Try to breathe through it. Smile. Feel grateful for this moment, for the present. Think of your sankalpa. Breathe through your nose. Place your hands maybe down. Drop your head. Breathe. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, raise your hands, reach up, sun breath. Exhale, bring your palms down, prayer position, heart center. One more time, inhale. You can send a prayer and exhale, hands at heart center. Good. Before we move the legs, we're going to incorporate a twist. If you're pregnant, always get advice, please, before practicing yoga, especially in the first trimester. Twisting is always through the middle of thoracic. Right now I have my right knee on top, so my left hand is going to go on my right knee. My right hand is going to come behind me, and the twist starts immediately. So from the side, I'm not sitting on my feet, and I'm not leaning back on my arm. I've got my arm right up against my back. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Twist. Push on the knee gently. Breathe through your nose. Get it. And then let's switch sides. So we're going to let the legs come out. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake and a wake. Move your feet, your ankles. Bring the legs back so that the knees are bent. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the left leg. It's going to go on top this time. So right leg under, heel out of the way, left leg on top, heels to the side. Again, not sitting like this. Get your buttocks down. Sit on a prop, sit on a sweater, sit on a blanket if you need to even that out. Try working your knees. Remember, this is a lot of practice. When I started, one knee was here. It takes a lot of practice. So please just go where you can. It might be here today. The The fact is you're moving, you're breathing, you're on your mat, and that's wicked awesome. So here we go. Take the breath, push the feet open, inhale and exhale through your nose. And then let's start to the other side. Here we go. So arms open to where you can feel a nice stretch. Perfect. Open, shoulders down, chest open. Breathe in gratitude. Purse release. Inhale. Good. Keep squeezing back your shoulders. And then if you want to, you can try leaning forward and keeping your arms back. You're going to get a pectoral stretch across your chest. Smiling, but not on the inside. Breathe, but not in a bad way. Again, it's not forcing, I'm challenging. There's a difference between force. It's just pulling a little. There we go. Maybe let the belt go. Watch the shoulders, delicate shoulders. Hands can come out. Take a breath or two here. Deep stretch. Good. Come back up. Earth, continue sitting just like you are. Left knee is on top, so right hand's going to take the left knee. Left hand's going to come up and kind of become almost like a little back, another spine. You're going to look over your left shoulder and twist, if you will, through the thoracic, not in the lumbar. Breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then bring it back. Let's release. So what we're trying to do when we do a deep stretch in yoga, when we do stretches, is we want to feel like, okay, have we moved most of the major joints? We've got some more range of motion, if you will. So our joints, our shoulders, we've had some. Let's come onto our knees, turn our toes under. And breathe. So we've done a little bit of stretching of our joints and our knees, a little bit of our feet, but not much. So let's turn the toes under and stretch the arches of our feet. For some, we may need to pad the knees. Even I'm finding this quite uncomfortable. We've been doing a lot of standing and balancing, which puts a lot of weight bearing on the knee joints. So there's a balance in keeping your joints strong, but you also want to make sure they're mobile. So we're making sure you do a little kundalini, a little movement with yoga, and then also do those strengthening poses. So you're doing some dynamic and some stillness at the same time. Balance now with the breath, stretch your toes. I'm trying to talk you out of the toes. Hold that if you can, another breath or two. While you're in this, if you can continue stretching, use your belt, take it in your right hand, and just gently bring it over your shoulder. Point the right elbow up to the sky and then see if you can reach for the belt. Just like we were in Gomukhasana legs, now we're in Gomukhasana arms. Stretch your toes, a few breaths on this side. Chin in line with the floor. Swap the belt, left hand can take it, left elbow can go north, and then reach up. For some people, because we have shorter arms, it's easier to use a belt and then get nice alignment so you're not all scrunched up. This gives you an open chest, chin's in line, that Iyengar method. Toes are going, what? You're saying it's okay, you can do this. 3 to 4 or 5 breaths on each side. Through the nose. And release the belt. Tap your toes out, give them a massage on the earth. Yep, hit the bones, especially those that have got a little bit of the planters and stuff going on, soreness, any soreness in the joints. Good. Shake one of your legs out, just like a little puppy kicking up snow. It's just snowing again. And then the other side. Good. So we're not going to do the breath here. We're going to turn the knees out and do the hero pose. So when I say knees, I should have said calf muscles. You're going to turn one calf and then the other out if you can. And see if you can bring yourself, your buttocks, toward the ground. That's not going to happen for me today. So if you have a book or a block that you might be able to sit on to get a stretch in the ACL, the top of your knee, use the block. I'm using it today. My feet are flat. I'm going to try and bring the energy of my hands, all the nerves of my hands and feet together, and sit up straight. If you've got the power to sit on your buttocks, please do. You can also bring another block, blanket, sit on somebody. Just try to sit up straight, chest lifted, stretch the knees. I also investigated because a lot of us that have varicose veins, compressing for too long is not good for the varicose veins. So if you're someone who has intense varicose veins, you want to check on that when you're doing some of these flexions and folded poses. Breathe, another 2-3 breaths. Deep stretch today. Good. And then come back onto all fours, just like we did. So come back onto all fours and then lean. So you're going to lean forward onto your tummy to stretch the knees out. So come on down onto your belly and bring your elbows out in chest line. We'll start with that. If you can see me okay on both cameras there. Okay. So we're going to do not a crazy cobra yet or anything, just a modified cobra. So elbows are going to be in line with my chest. Good. Palms are spread, fingers are spread, feet can be apart. If you want to intensify, try bringing your feet together. See how that feels. Then pull your knees off the ground, lift, shoulders down, look up. So you're getting immediate bend and flexion in your lower back, chest is open. That's all we need. We don't need to super cobra it. You can just take a few breaths and then perhaps lift off your elbows and come into what we call the seal. Don't do this. Push down your arms, lift your chest, look up, firm the buttocks, lift the knees, stay here, breathe. 3, 4, 5, slow, deep, rich breaths. Squeeze into that lower back. Good, and then come down. Push your arms out, and before we complete the back bend, bend your knees and see if you can reach for the outside of your feet. Keep your knees in line, pretend you're trying to reach for a block. Reach for your ankles, and then see if you can come up just a little deeper back stretch, chest stretch, and thigh stretch into what we call the Dhanurasana. 5 breaths here, squeezing the lower back. And again, this is where the belt might come in handy. It'll take a little bit of swinging. This is where you need a partner. Comes S&M yoga. And then it'll help you come up as well if you're feeling that you want to try your belt. Let's rinse that out. So we want to fold the back the other way. Keep your knees open, bring yourself and your buttocks down into Balasana, the child's pose. And let your spine bend the other way. Now, again, it's a deep stretch and we want to head toward relaxation, but come up onto all fours, turn your toes under and walk into a little bit of a downward facing dog. Not for long, you don't need to stay here. We're gonna, that's it, again, a very deep inversion stretch. We're going to walk the feet up to the middle, keep your feet hip width apart, and do a forward fold. So I'm bending, if you notice, my knees and bringing my chest to my thighs, then reaching for my elbows. What a lot of people think the right way to do this is to dive in and reach for their toes. So we might as well be on our phone. What you want to do in this pose is squat a little bit into the pose, fold from the hips, get your chest down and your back stretching and the back of the leg stretching, and then work on straightening and straightening and straightening into the pose slowly. The weight pushes forward into the toes and the blood comes all the way down from the heart into the head and from the hips into the heart. So it's a full, you might as well be doing the plow. There's as much blood flowing down into the brain and the small little nerves and capillars in the, sure I said that wrong, in the brain. Good, take a few more deep breaths, stretch forward into your toes, then walk those hands back, shoulder width apart, knees back onto all fours. Well done. Now we'll do the breath. Watch your head, make sure it's okay. A lot of blood to the head. Line your wrists so that they're in line with your shoulders. Your knees are in line with your hips. Drop your belly. Let the belly drop. Lift your face, look up, inhale. And then exhale. Pull everything rounded into your back. So we call it a smile and keep yoga. Have your smile, your spine smile. Exhale, create a little arch or rainbow. That's what I like to call it. Arch. Andam acts of kindness. Andam, is it random acts of kindness? Listen to me today. Inhale up. What am I saying today? It's every day. Exhale, round. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. So as you know, we've done a lot of areas, the inside of our thighs, the outside, the hips, the shoulders. What we haven't done a lot of is the front hip flexor group. So we're going to complete our practice by stepping, I'm going to step, it's the left one for now, up to the top of my mat and create a lunge. This lunge is going to give me a nice stretch at the front of that hip flexor. It's one of our favorite poses. Bashakti and I always add it to our classes. And you can push and open, you can play with it. You can spread the feet a little further away, start working on Hanumanasana, maybe your pose for the splits. You can bring both hands on the inside like a lizard. You can have both hands on the outside. I'm going a little further today, pressing a little bit more toward a split. Breathe. So runner's lunge, even that back knee padded, hands on the inside, outside. Take a few breaths, stretch the front of your thigh. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Good. Again, it's a stretch. So take your leg back, come onto all fours, and move the hips in a circular motion a couple of times. One way, careful on the back, and then a couple of times the other way. Remember what leg went up to the top of the mat, and then now bring the other leg up to the top of the mat. You can draw a straight line with energy from heel to knee. The main thing is this isn't happening. You don't want the knee over the foot. If the foot starts to go out a bit, well, you're heading into Hanumanasana. So that's not necessarily incorrect. It's just a deeper position. Press forward, get the front of that thigh stretch. Maybe your hands want to come on the inside. We did do some work on the outer hips. So if you want to roll, you can roll your foot. I like to look out here, push, breathe, open all the muscles, the lower body, breathe. And again, about 5 breaths. Then when we completed this side, back to all fours we go, a couple of circles front and back with your hips. And again, that's mobility of joints. So not only do we want to strengthen the joints, we also want to keep them really mobile. Okay, so have a sip of water, get a blanket, t-shirt, or hoodie, anything you need to stay warm. And we're going to come down for a last twist. Not last forever, but last twist before we go into relaxation. So roll down, roll into happy baby. Happy baby is when our legs come into a 90-degree angle. We hold the heels or arches of our feet. You don't drop them down. I mean, that's not an unhappy baby. Go for it if you want. But this will give you, it gives you a really deep opening, and you press, you'll feel it much stronger in your back than when you're down here. This just hurts your knees. This comes right into the quadrants of your shoulders and your lower back. So happy babies, sometimes babies rock. You can rock your baby. Let's be happy. Your health and your happiness, the greatest gifts you can give anybody. There's no greater gift. Perfect. So we said we were going to do a twist. Let's fancy it up if you want to join me. Otherwise, just bend your knees together. But if you'd like to, cross the right over the left leg and try to do a Garudasana, an eagle leg. Then arms out at shoulder height, keep your shoulders down, and let the knees, so my right knee is on top and I'm folding over to my left side. This side isn't coming up, I'm not flinging, I'm keeping the quadrants, the top anyway, down. I'm also trying to stack these two bones on top of one another again here. So I've got a square, or what we call hips squared. So there's a lot going on. Careful with your twist, especially with pregnancy. Try to keep the shoulder down. Gaze point is the hand on the ground. Breathe. All these hazards. Also, there's some beautiful feelings when you do these as well. It feels amazing. Stretch. It's like going to the chiropractor and saving like $50. No offense, chiropractors. Breathe. Just something you can do daily. There we go. And twist. So it was Garudasana, which is the eagle legs. Cross, hook the foot if it's available. And then twist, left shoulder and arm open. A few breaths here. Try to keep the shoulders down, hips stack. Breaths deep. Maybe you want to focus on your sankalpa, you're breathing through your nose, maybe your intention. Let's come back, hug our knees. Get it. Perfect. Take a moment, you can just rest with your knees open. It's a deep stretch today. If you're feeling the itch for an inversion, we did do a forward fold, so we did get all the blood to the crown of our head. But if you'd like to go further, for anyone who wants to do headstand shavasana, if it's in your practice, go ahead. And if you'd like to go into the plow, you can roll back and guide your hips over. Do not look at me, please. Don't turn your head at any point. That's the one thing about these Zooms and things where we all try to look at the camera. Your head needs to stay tucked straight in line with your spine. And then we play. You can support your back. You can maybe hinge up into a shoulder stand. Play with it if it's in your practice. Some people, again, in pregnancy, this might not be something that your doctor will advise. You might be a yogi practitioner with your fourth child who does this all the time. Remember to get advice that's for you, like anything that affects your body, your health, your mind, your soul. Roll out, hug your knees back into your chest. Praise and bless yourself for all the movements you've done and how you've loved your body this morning, this afternoon, and this. If you'd like to relax and absorb your practice, come on down into Shavasana. Let your feet and your palms fall open. And close your eyes. Make sure you've got a blanket, you've got something so that you're comfortable and warm. And when you lay down, usually when we lay in the position of Shavasana, the neutral position, palms are open. Shoulders are open. If your eyes are closed or your eyes are covered, you can just do an internal scan, maybe of the chakras. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose, so feel your chest rise as you inhale. Your tummy, your body, just feel the breath travel into every cell. And as you're exhaling, feel the breath leave completely from every cell. Light in. And anything that no longer serves it. Relax your body. See yourself in some of your stretches today. We did the bridge. See yourself in maybe forward fold, in your twists, down angles, using your belt to elongate and open space between your bones. Lengthen tissue like things like ligaments. They only have like a 4% stretch, so they get very, very tight. It's really good if you can keep that flexibility. You'll feel ageless, I promise. Breathe and feel like any tightness of fascia, that netting in your body, those hard bumps. Feel like we've moved and stretched and released. Keep breathing slowly and deeply, like the tortoise, not quickly like the rabbit. Stay with your breath. Relax your toes. Relax the balls of your feet. Feel the arches and your heels relax. Relax your ankles. Feel your shins, your calves, and your knees relax. Relax your thighs, your hamstring, your legs. Just feel your foundation relax. Relax your buttock. Relax your hips, your lower back. Feel the glow of your lower organs. Relax your sides. Relax your center. Feel your chest relax, your ribs. Deeply relax your whole spine, right from your tailbone right up to your neck. Feel the space in the vertebrae. Relax. Relax your shoulders deeply, your arms, upper arm. Relax your elbows, your forearms. Feel your wrists relax, your hands, your thumbs, your fingers. Feel your body sinking deeper into a floating, peaceful, relaxed state. Now bring the relaxation to your neck, your throat. Relax your voice. Feel peace wash over your face. No expression, just peace. Relax your cheeks, your jaw, your mouth, and your lips. Feel your eyes sink deeper into relaxation. Relax your cheekbones and your temples, your brow, your forehead, your skull, your head. Just feel from head to toe how you're completely relaxed. Absorbing the deep stretching, sparkling with the new breath. 7 wheels, vortexes of energy, the chakras are also spinning clearly. Red Muladhara at the base, earth. Just above it, in sacrum area, orange water, swastika. At your navel, yellow fire, Manipur. Spinning center, heart chakra, Anahata, 3. Throat chakra, Vishuddha, blue, expanding. The air, the divine, the cosmic energy, the third eye, indigo, Anjna. And violet at the crown of your head, Saraswati. All open, moving, clear. Perhaps bring your mind back for a moment to your intention. Here's some call. If your mind strays, keep training it with your yoga practice to come to your breath. So let's coax our mind back to our breathing again. Slow down your breathing. Breathe through the right and the left channels, the nostrils, right for Shiva, for sun, left for Shakti, for moon. Take deeper breaths, feel your chest expand, your tummy expand, your diaphragm expand as you breathe more prana in, life force. And to exhale, feel the balloon deflate completely. Bring motion back to your body, perhaps while you're laying here in Shavasana, move your fingers a wee bit, your toes. Perhaps move your head from side to side. And then if you feel like it, have a stretch, laying on your back, reach your arms up, and stretch. And try to keep your eyes closed, stay relaxed. And then turn onto your right side, tuck your head onto your right elbow. Support yourself with your left arm. Stay in this fetal position on your side for a few breaths. And keep your eyes closed. Stay present. Stay focused on breathing through your nose. Feel the rainbow glow of the chakras as you bring yourself up to a seated position. Kneeling, cross-legged. I'm in Padmasana. Just keep the back straight, all 33 vertebrae nice and strong, like a tuning stick, in with divine energy and Mother Earth connected. Feel that at your heart. Unite your hands at your heart, right and left again, sun and moon. Seal them, Anjali Mudra. Press your palms together at your heart center. So beautiful. 3 chakras below, 3 chakras above. And the eternity, you can feel it, the heart swirling into your hands. Start here with your heart. Fill your heart. You can serve, you can pour love from a full jug. Much easier. So looking after yourself is the most important thing you can possibly do, and the least selfish. Greatest gift you can give those who love you and need you is your health and your happiness. So looking after yourself this last hour together is the greatest gift for everyone, starting with you. Thanks for joining me. Happy Sunday. It's now Monday on the other side of the world. So happy Monday. The divine light in me sees, honors, bows. Is very grateful for the divine light and the connection between us, you, and the universe. We pray for peace. Love. Namaste. Namaste. Thanks for joining, and I'll send the Zoom out as well. Thank you for staying.